Dear Chairman, thank you very much for the opportunity to present the situation, what is going on with PUL in the real world. I would like to take you a little bit out of the COVID world into what we have found and can demonstrate today for the situation as we have seen it throughout our work. In the classical studies to get UroLift approved, we have the situation that a lot of patients are specifically aimed to enter such a study. We were able to demonstrate with a significant outcome the improvement for those patients. For our real world, however, it is necessary to demonstrate that this can be mirrored in a similar way. Therefore, we compared the results of two published studies of the real world with everyday patients, a German Multicenter Retrospective Study, and the Real-World Retrospective Study, which includes patients from the US and Australia. As you can see, the number of included patients are significantly different. But what I would like to do is to compare the outcome of these patients against the base setting with the IPSS prior and after UroLift. They will be assessed from their basic demographics in addition to the IPSS, the quality of life, the outcome and improvement of Qmax, if so there, at the time of baseline, 1, 6, and 12 months, and after 2 years. The most important thing to start with is definitely adverse events. They also remained minimal to moderate, so they were transient and disappeared after a short period. They included hematuria, dysuria, and pelvic pain, which disappeared within a frame of maximum 2 weeks. If we look at the baseline for the both studies, we see 2 points which seem to pinch out. One, for the German study, the age was lower, whereas the patients in the study for the real-world study, US and Australian patient included, were around 4 years older. On the other side, the number of implants, which seems to be different, below 4 and above 4 implants per patient. But it seems to be also important that we compare the situation of the flow max at the time prior to surgery, which is around 11 and 13 in the US-Australian situation, and the much worse situation of IPSS in the German compared to the US situation. If we look, and now this is the step after the treatment, we see that there is almost a definite improvement for both studies in their IPSS, and they come along. The improvement is that the decrease from 19 or 20 to around 10 or 12 IPSS. This is for both significant compared to the baseline, insignificant to the two of them. The quality of life improves on both of them significantly, but is insignificantly for both compared with each other. The only point which is to be pointed out is the outcome of the flow max, which was usually the point we looked at. The patients improved significantly better in the German study. Although when compared in the follow-up at 1, 6, 12, and 24 months, it is insignificant for the two against each other. But the improvement for the German patients, although they had less implants, was better. This can be placed in relation to published studies. And here taken the LIFT study, one of the most initial studies which have been performed, with 140 patients, so it is relevant. And it can be demonstrated that those patients in the average and absolute IPSS are doing better in the German and in the real-world US-Australian study. Over the time, the patients in the German study, also less in numbers, are doing long-term better with their outcome. Another point which seems to us very important is the situation to be catheter independent, catheter free after such a procedure, after they have been with a catheter for long term. At least 86% of the patients remained catheter free in the time of follow-up. There has been a presentation of the SUFU several years ago where it was demonstrated after TURP that more than 50% of the patients have to have a catheter again within a year. Here we have 86+% patients who are without a catheter even after 2 years, which is a real success. So in conclusion, despite the differences in the baseline characters, they can be equivalent for the real-world studies. The IPSS is significantly improved, close to those of studies like the LIFT study. And both studies demonstrate the significant improvement even for patients who have had a catheter in place and will be without a catheter in the long term afterwards. So consistent results are demonstrated in real world that patients can be treated with UroLift safely and effectively. And I think this is now a definite sign that this is a prime time for UroLift. Thank you very much for your kind attention. And if there are any questions, I would be very happy to share our own experience and answer any of your questions. Thank you very much.